Hi everyone. I did not expect to be making a video right now, but I just finished making this little prototype and I was really proud of it and I wanted to share it with you guys. This comes after I only started learning Node in depth last week on Monday. I only learnt about how to create a server 2 days ago. 3 days ago, sorry. And now I want to share this little thing with you, which I'm sure to more seasoned programmers is nothing, but I just feel really proud of how I worked this out. So what I've done is I've created a little server using Express. And I've set my ports, I've accessed everything, and I've created this array of users, right? And I've given them fake IBANs. For those who aren't in the EU, an IBAN is like an account number, a bank account number. I've given them fake PINs. And I've given them fake bank balances. Now, as you can see, I've made this super easy for myself. The IBANs are actually just the pins with DE in front of them, which is the country code for Germany. So it's super easy for me to remember: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yes, very nice dummy accounts. Then I've set some routes, and I've created this variable called current user. And so I've set this GET request to basically be the login page. This is the main page, as you can see here. And then I've got 4 functions, I suppose you would call them, that I can do using Post. Authentication, deposit withdrawal, and bank account balance. So then I've got all these little functions. I mean, I'm not going to go through them line by line, but the basic idea is we have the login, which is the authentication. And what we do in that section is we check that the IBAN and the PIN match one of our users using this array method find. And if it does, then we return a token to them. And now in the original version of this, which was like a command line interface, I just gave the token kind of as a copy and paste this, keep a copy of this somewhere so you can use it later kind of thing. But now when I've kind of transformed this into a web page, what I do is I actually return this information to them as a cookie, so as data in a cookie. And so you can see here, current user.current token, yeah, because we assign this random token to them. I've used the random token npm package to do that. And then I've sent that random token kind of back to the browser side, I suppose you would say, in order to make sure that we can continue this authentication through the other things that we want to be able to do. So then what we do is I set it up to actually send the file. So we've set up the cookie, we've created a status, we send the file, which is the banking page, yeah, which you can see here. And then we can do the rest of what we have to do. So let me just log in to my very super secret bank account. Here we go, submit. Let's hope this works. Yes, okay, good. So here we are in my bank account. You can see that I've already played around with the amounts a little bit because the balance is not the same as it was before. And we've got this deposit and withdrawal. So let me show you firstly how I connected the balance, how I found the balance. So let's find here. Here's our display balance function. We take in the token that is provided by the browser. We find the user with that token, and then we set. So we check that the current. No, hang on. We check that there's someone with that token, which there always will be because they've just logged in. We set the current user to the user we find with that token, just to make sure. And then we ensure that we send back their balance as a string. That's how I've done it here. I found that I had to send it as a string for what I've done here. Okay, so then we go down here, and I've got this fetch balance function where I send off the token that we've received as a cookie. And where did we receive it? Here. So on load, I've taken document.cookie, which gives that to us, split it by the equal sign, and then taken the result. yeah, because we're only sending one thing, and set that as the token. I then essentially managed to just so rather than JSON, I've used to using fetch with JSON, but because we're using text here, because we're dealing with forms a lot as well, we're just dealing with strings. And as I said, this came from a command line interface banking app. So basically, I have to use the text format here in order to make this work. So I've got that, and then I set the balance field text content to what I get from that. Yeah, from data.text. I could actually put this in I'll probably, when I refactor this, I'll just put that into one function. But for now, that will do just nicely. Okay, so then I've got these two things, and they basically work the same way, so I'll only describe one of them. We'll have a look at deposit. Actually, this pass int is not necessary because I pass it on the other side, in the server side, so that's probably also something I'll get rid of when I refactor. And then we've got I'm setting the fields here. So when someone clicks on the submit button, I'll show you, it doesn't actually do the post. It actually calls a function instead, and submit deposit in this case. And sorry, I'm a bit scattered, but I'm just excited. And then when they click on it, yes, I reset the value of the field to 0, yeah, so the number doesn't just sit there. And then I do a post request. I send it as a form, and then I send the token with it to make sure it's still being validated on the other side, and the deposit amount. Right? So let's go back to our server side and see what's happening. Here we go. Deposit funds. Yeah, I receive the token. I pass the amount as a number. I find the user, I authenticate the user, and then I basically do this change balance thing, which is basically I just update the user in the user array. So the user object, I suppose you would say, I update that. So I can show you that change balance. Here we go. Super simple. Current user.balance plus equals amount or minus equals for withdrawal. Okay, and then where do I do it? Oh no. Yeah, so that's done. Because we're not actually receiving this anymore, again, like I said, command line interface, all we're doing actually here is just fetching the balance again. So just like we did on page load. So now you can see that if I type 15 in here and submit, the amount is increased by 15. We get a little success message, and then this is cleared out. And this is actually changing in our server as well on our back end. So I learned how to make a server 3 days ago, and now I can make this cool little app that is fully synced up between the front end and the back end. Next up, of course, the idea is to hook it up with a much nicer front end. Obviously, I love React. You guys know that, I think. And then on the back end, obviously, to hook it up to a database. But I'm pretty happy with this. I'm pretty proud of this. I don't know if anyone will actually watch this video through to the end because it is a bit kind of like just me having a little brag and feeling good about my work. But, considering this is my first time hooking up the back end with the front end and, fetching from my own server and having this kind of conversation happening, I'm feeling pretty good. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. Bye.